Capitalization. To obtain additional results through benchmarking and detailed content analysis. The amounts and types of long-term financing used by a firm. The production of new knowledge building on existing knowledge and experience. Okay, let's see it in a practical example. 80% of people in Europe live in cities, which are mostly growing following the sprawl urban model. Monofunctional cities with low densities and high energy consumption levels. These cities are key actors when talking about climate change effects and have a strong need of an effective territorial management. Somewhere in the Mediterranean, someone is thinking on how to compact these cities, how to stimulate social and territorial cohesion, how to promote, through an integrated approach, a city with high population density per hectare and a high building compactness, complexity of uses and functions, and walking scale access to main services and facilities needed daily. But they understood it wasn't anything new. Someone had already developed that urban model. Even in other parts of the world, this model was followed. So they decided to work with others who were doing things right in the present. Concrete expertise was identified through successful projects to adapt this model by improving each of the elements of the integrated approach and make it useful for decision makers. Finally, they had 13 projects from 7 countries bringing 15 results to improve the urban model and the related policies. Once the transferability possibilities of each one of them and the possible synergies among them had been analyzed. Everyone involved knew that successful results can end up in a forgotten box if politicians are not interested. Through the capitalization of that knowledge, a parallel work was being made with decision makers in each participating country, finding out what they needed, how they needed it, and why they still didn't have it. Involving decision makers could help transforming results into policies. The first step was done. Politicians need to capitalize what others have done right and adapt it to their needs. But they had worked on policies affecting cities mainly at local and regional levels, and in the frame of European territorial cooperation in the Mediterranean. How could they mainstream the results to a higher level and to other territories? Mainstreaming. The main body of water that all streams flow to. Integration of project results into existing policy frameworks at diverse levels. Okay, let's go back to our example again. The group now represents 6 Mediterranean countries and 1 non-Mediterranean one, who is giving the outside Med view. They could mainstream the results to the rest of the Mediterranean and to the rest of Europe. Results used to improve local or regional policies could also be mainstreamed to improve other frameworks at European level, such as concrete directives on urban sustainability. Oh, it's true, the financing. This was born in the European Territorial Cooperation Framework, although there is not enough money there to implement those results. But there are other funds that could follow up and help their implementation, but they don't even know our results exist. That's why our friends will use the results representing pilot actions as real scenarios to test other results and to work on how to implement them through the articulation of funds. Of European funds that finance their own priorities. Their integrated approach for urban sustainability had then to be considered in those priorities. That is the last step. They represent different programs working with the Mediterranean, so they will identify common priorities for the territory. They are now ready to be a task force, a permanent structure to be consolidated using the existing CatMed platform for sustainable urban models, where results and actors coming from other projects, clusters or networks could join in. Welcome to Urban Empathy, the capitalization process of the CatMed platform for sustainable urban models.